Alright, what's up guys? Addicted to Soda here. This is going to be a commentary on how I make these builds for the bell tower. Basically how I build them, the foundation for them and such, and why I enjoy them, the kind of PvP you could expect here, yada yada yada, etc etc. All of these fights are going to be with this build right here. This is a sorcery, twink, or low-level build, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I'm going to just get into how I create these builds. I have 2 currently right now, and I'm working on 2 more, but 2 are at this moment done. Okay, so basically how I start off the build, just like in my last sort of commentary on this subject, I stop at the 269,999 soul memory range, and your level, when you get to about this point, what you want your level to be at is about 68 or 69 to make a decent build. And what that's going to do is that's going to put you at about the soul, it's going to cost you about 190,000 souls. Or 187,000, or actually it's more accurate to say 193,000, somewhere around there. And you want to get to that point with your build, even though you're stopping later at 269,999. So, when you stop at this 193,000 with your build, just the actual stats that you're going to be getting and stuff like that so that you can use all these weapons, the leftover souls to 269,999, that's the play that you have. That's the amount of souls you can play with. Usually how it works out with me with casters is I have about 3 weapons I could use, and then I could buy spells, infuse certain weapons, yada yada. Going over what you have to purchase. When you have to purchase some things for these builds to work. One of which is you have to buy the agape ring. You have to buy the agape ring. It's what locks your soul memory by making it so you can no longer earn souls. So that's number 1. You have to buy that from Strayed. It costs 5,000 souls, so that's the first thing that you have to buy. The second thing that you have to buy is the longest ladder that Laddersmith Gilligan sells. So once you defeat Earthen Peak, you speak to him, he'll move to Majula. And he has 3 ladder options, one for 500, one for, I don't even know how much this other one's worth, like 7,000 or something, and one for 12,000. The one for 12,000 is the one you want. Once you do that, a number of things can happen. 1, if you get the Forgotten Key in Black Gulch, you can open up the Forgotten Door that ladder leads to, and get the Dragon Talon. The Dragon Talon is the key to the first DLC, which you need if you're going to be using the Ring of Soul Protection or Ring of Life Protection to preserve your humanity while in the bell tower. The second thing it does is it gives you easier access to the gutter. That's always nice. And thirdly, if you buy that from Laddersmith Gilligan, you get access to, if you talk to him, a nice scimitar, which I enjoyed using on my quality build, but that's kind of just, you can use it if you want. That's up to you. So how I make these builds is I get a pad of paper and I go to mujinmonkey.com and I make my build, whether it's going to be, well, I have my idea for the build, I have an idea of what the weapons are going to be for the build, and I basically make a build that's level 68 or 69 or 67 or 70, and basically, and then once I have that, I chart out the weapons I'm going to use, and I go through all the calculations on the wikis on how many souls it's all going to cost. When making the build, I usually try to get a 20 vigor and 20 endurance to start out with. I end up, if I need to cut some of the fat to make the build useful, or to make it so that I can use certain weapons, I end up usually taking points out of vigor 2. I usually go down to 18. One of the other things you have to, it's up to you whether you're going to do it. You have to pay Lycia 2,000 souls to move the contraption room so that you have access to Huntsman's Cove so you can actually continue forth with the game. If you don't do that, and you, like I said, you can't continue the game, so you have two options. You can pay the 2,000 or you can kill her. If you're doing a faith build and you like her set, I recommend you don't kill her and you like go up to like 30 in faith and you talk to her and then use a soul vessel to fix it later. But I'm probably just going to start killing her now. I hadn't actually thought about it in a while. I usually just paid it, and I always had at least 2,000 souls left over. So that's another thing you can do. Going over the build more, I guess that's all I wanted to talk about the actual how to make the build. It's up to you which way you want to go through in the game, how far you want to go in the game. If you want to go do the DLCs, you can grab the Ring of the Embedded and really raise a bunch of your stats for basically, I think you take a little extra damage. If you want to go into the other DLCs for like the clutch rings or the Flynn rings, stuff like that, that's all up to you, the items you want to grab and you want to get. But I always go at least unlock the first DLC. This build right here it started off very OP. It went through a couple of transitions. This is mostly Fashion Souls transitions was what I mean, but as you can see, I've been buffing it for a couple of these fights, and I'm wearing the sorcery clutch ring. That's kind of overkill for this area, so I ended up not doing that anymore. It just felt very OP and not very fun. So, like I said, I stopped doing that. I kind of at first thought, oh well, you know, the sorcery clutch ring, it makes me take more damage because it lowers my armor rating, but it doesn't really make a difference. You do just this extra damage that it basically makes it not fair, and that's not really why I do low level PvP or twinking. I do it because I really hate the 150 meta, because all everyone ever does is bring their adaptability up as high as they can to get the 105 agility, and all everyone ever does is roll. They have more endurance than you, and they just roll, and I just don't like that. It just pisses me off. So that's why I like this kind of low-level PvP. It really, you have to sacrifice to make decent builds. You have to do certain things to make builds viable, and adaptability is not always that important at these low levels. That's another thing I wanted to get into, twinks. I twinked a little bit in Dark Souls 1. I wasn't one of the ones that went around with the lightning katana and, you know, one-shot people, because that was just stupid. That wasn't fun. But I did like a Daughter of Chaos cosplay in the church, the undead church. That was what I like to do. But anyway, other twinks, as you can see right here, this guy with the warmth and stuff, he also has like Forbidden Sun on him. You'll see later. There's a fair amount of twinks in the bell tower. It's an optional area. Not a lot of people have to go, and you fight your fair share of people who know what they're doing. And that's what I really like about this low-level PvP stuff. You have to sacrifice. You have to really manage your stamina, and that's what I like about this. I just do. It's so fun to fight other people that have made these complex builds that they've had to run into DLCs and fight bosses at like level 60 and shit like that. Stuff that is difficult to do to make a build that has all these things with it. So yeah, there are a lot of twinks in the bell tower. I mean, I fought a number of people that, you know, they have equipped Havel's armor. They have pieces of Havel's armor equipped in here. I fought a guy the other day that had a couple pieces of it, and he was running around with a long sword, or no, it was a sun sword, and he was playing like it was the arena. He was playing without a shield, and he was like two-handing it, running and poking and stuff, and he was dodging everything I threw at him. And I fought him a number of times, and it was great. It was one of the hardest people I fought in here. It was amazing. I've covered that PvP in here can be really fun. The ganks aren't always fun, but like I said, this build has the potential to be really OP, so if I really want to, I can take out gankers. It's really not that difficult. What I find interesting is that the bell tower has become a lot more honorable. at least over the time that I've been here. I mean, sometimes people just attack you, and you know that's never fun. Some people bow. I don't really care about bowing, but some people bow, some people wave. Most people are friendly, but you can have a really enjoyable PvP experience in the bell tower. I shit you not. It exists. It's here. If you're anywhere around the soul memory range, you can have fun. Like you saw earlier that people were putting down red signs here. Now that doesn't happen often. I've only had like 2 people ever do that, but I took advantage of it. I mean, I got the Ring of Soul Protection. I don't really care if I get killed. I'm here to play PvP and get better. Okay. Lastly, I just wanted to talk about some of the other builds I have. I've already moved my quality build up from where I was in the game. From the bell tower, it's no longer a level 68. It's a level 150. I've leveled it up, which I honestly am thinking right now I might want to recreate it just for the bell tower, because I'm thinking about staying here at least until Dark Souls 3 comes out. But we'll see. I'm not sure. I have this build that has changed slightly. The fashion on it is definitely different. And like I said, I don't buff anymore. I don't even carry the buff with me. I carry Soul Greatsword for the gankers. That's what I do. I have a Faith build that took quite a few tries to make, but I finally got it done. I'm happy with it. I use a lot of weapons I like to use. Well, I have the 3 weapons that I like to use on it, and that's great. I'm in the process of building a Pyro build for the tower, and I think a Dex build. I'm not sure. I'll have to think about that, but I was kind of shying off the Dex build, but it can be done. So I already have them designed and everything. Well, I think that's all I wanted to say. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and keep an eye out for that last clip, because it's going to be funny.